On this episode of Tony Projects Garage, can you guess which one of these is new? Check it out. We got a new little center console dash piece there. This one is shattered. I guess they broke it whenever they stole the car. Whatever happened. Broke, but it comes with the cigarette lighter, which is sweet. It's not actually a lighter. It's a little plug. That's kind of cool. Yeah, don't smoke, kids. And then also, I got a new ignition. And I'm hoping this is the right one. I mean, I double checked to make sure it was. But I'm not 100% sure, so we'll have to see. It's not going to be the easiest to take off. Looks like I have to reach around the back side. Well, it's on the bottom, I suppose. To unscrew those big screws, and then I should be able to take this off. I may have to take the steering wheel off, we'll see. So wish me luck on that. I'm just tired of starting it with a screwdriver. I don't know about you guys. I'm sure you guys would be tired of it too. So let's get started on it. So I've got the steering wheel lowered down, and as you can see via the top here, this is where the screws are. But as you can see here, looks like they had to make their own slots somehow. I'm not sure how they managed that. It looks like they use like a die grinder or angle grinder or something to make slots in those things, because as you can see up here, they're smooth as can be, smooth as a baby's bottom. So that means I'm gonna have to do some work in order to get this piece on the car, unfortunately. So, you know, wish me luck. I'm not sure exactly what the plan is. I may have to do what they did, but it may require taking a bit of the dash apart, which I'm really not looking forward to. I'm definitely gonna have to take the surround off here, which doesn't look that hard. It looks like it's just 2 screws, but I might have to actually even take off the gauge cluster as well, which, fun. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see if I can get to the plug that goes to the actual starter part, and just plug it in, see if it actually starts the vehicle, and then go from there, just to make sure that you know, it's the right one for the car. I don't want to go through all the work of taking this out just for it to be the wrong thing. So I'm going to do that right now. All right, so I took this bottom little cover off here so I can access the plugs for the ignition, because those are going to have to be unplugged either way. And I believe they're back here somewhere, back behind this panel. So I'm going to take this little kick panel off here too. It looks pretty easy to take off. It's just like a few bolts, and it'll give me even more access. All right, I got that little piece off. It's laying down here. I'll put that back on, of course, afterwards. So I think I could see where the plugs are going. I see one plug right here. And then, of course, there's another little smaller plug that I need to get access to. So let's unplug those real quick, and then let's plug in our new ignition, and we'll see if it actually starts the car. Fingers crossed. All right, great news, guys. It plugs in. Let's see if it actually turns on the ignition, like at least to, you know, accessory, because I have to push on the clutch to start the car. So I've got the camera set up. Let's pick it up. Let's see if it just turns on the key. Oh, look at that. I'll get to turn on the turn signal. Obviously, it won't start the car because the clutch is not in. So let's see if I can, but it is working. So I'm not gonna be able to push the clutch with this all out, but we know it functions. So now, that means all we gotta do is get this old piece off, and luckily enough, I don't have to be nice to it. So now, all I gotta do is take this off. I got to take this little protector plate off too right here so I can get it actually on there, but I need to actually get up here with maybe an angle grinder and cut it, because like I said, I don't have to be nice to it. It's already broken anyway, so all I got to do is just get it off of there, and once it's off, then I can spend some time and put that on. It doesn't look like it'll be that hard just because they've already made slots in it already. They made it easy on me. And we can go from there. So I'm going to take this little piece off first, and then what I'll do is get in here with an angle grinder and see about angle grinding the top. I think I have to take, you know, the dash or the gauge cluster little bezel there off, and then once that's off, then I'll have access to the top where I can get an angle grinder to it. Can you believe there's 5 screws in this thing? They really want to make sure that it's not easy to get in there and, you know, break into this car. Obviously it didn't stop the people, but definitely it keeps you from getting the ignition off easily in a quick hurry or anything like that. So now what I'm going to do is take this top bezel out and get to grinding. All right, got the bezel out. I still think I'm gonna have to take the gauges out, unfortunately, because I don't think that's gonna give me enough room to get in there with an angle grinder. Basically, I just need to grind off here and then on the other side, and that should give me access to split it apart, take it off, and then I can put the other one on. I might try to go in at it like this, just go in between these two layers, just angle grind right in there, but I might not have enough room on the other side, so let's see what we can do. All right, guys, I angle grinded it. I didn't do any damage to the actual shaft, which is really nice, and I'm bending this up out of the way so I can get this out. So I think we're gonna have a success. I'm looking forward to getting this all the way off. All right, guys, I got it out. I had to cut it from this side too, but I had to make sure I avoided any of the, you know, vital cables and stuff like that. So now what I'm gonna do, now that that crap is out, I'm going to pull the old cables out that are no longer needed. Probably cut some zip ties. I'll have to put some new zip ties back, but basically cut the zip ties, pull these cables out, and then feed these new cables in to where they're supposed to go. But I'll probably put this up first so that's in its spot, its final home, and then I'll route the cables. But we're in a good spot now that this is off. That was more work than I cared to admit, but we got it. I'm hoping everything works still. Like I said, it was starting, so I think we're good there. We just need to get it all mounted up. Whew. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm having a pretty comically inept moment, unfortunately. I lost one of the screws when I took them out. I don't know where it went, it just disappeared. I only found one. And then I can't find the little top piece. It just disappeared on me when I was trying to look for the screw. Fail. I'm dying over here. Well, I found the top piece again, but I still can't find that screw. I don't know where it is, and I can't get this OBD2 port out of here. So this is just in the way, being annoying. Talk about all right, guys, I managed to find one of the screws still, and I found that top cap piece in there, so it's on there. It's just missing the screw, so I need to be able to find a screw that fits it, which is a M8 by 125. 1.25. Of course, I don't have anything that would fit really. I have some M8 by 1.25, but it's not going to fit in there. So, but it's pretty secure. I mean, it's not going anywhere. I just need to find that screw. Maybe I'll find it when I'm picking up, is a thought, when I'm like picking up everything, putting everything back together, and then I'll have to take it all apart again. So I'm gonna get these, I'm gonna hurry up and get this plugged in like it's supposed to be, and get these old crappy cables out of here, and go from there. All right, I got those plugs plugged back in, so it should work. Yep, totally does. Very good. And now what I gotta do is get this put back up, put the little cover piece back on. So I'm gonna get to that real quick before I lose daylight. I've been looking for that stupid screw for too long. Well, I wasn't wrong. I did find it after I put everything back together. So now I've got to take this dash, or the gauge shroud out again. But hey, I found it. It's a miracle. I think we're in a good spot. I'm in a much better state of mind at the moment. You gotta remember where you're putting stuff, guys, because man, it gets frustrating when you don't know where you set stuff. That is for sure. I was actually able to set the steering wheel down and get access to it, so it's in there now. All right, let's see. After all that struggle, let's see if she starts up. Oh, let me move the seat up because I had to push it back looking for that screw. All right, let's see what happens. I'm pushing the clutch. Key comes out. Key goes in. Key starts the car. Yeah. Feels really good right now, guys. Now I need some screws because they're missing here and here, so I can screw that back together, because otherwise this just kind of flops around, as you can see. They're little tiny screws too, so I don't know if I have anything like that, but I'll look around for it. Now it's time to get this puppy in there as well, and that'll complete the look of the dash. Then I'll have to get a radio. Once I get a radio in, we can, you know, there's still some speakers in here, so we'll have to see how those sound after we put the radio in. There is a radio down there, the Subaru stock one, but I don't know if I want to put that one in because it doesn't have Bluetooth or anything. I know we have a like a $20 radio down at Colin's place. I'm going to drive this down there as a road test, just for long-term durability, reliability, and we can try putting that radio in and seeing how it sounds. I'd be curious to test it out for being so cheap. Look at that. She's in there. Looking pretty dang good too. Fits right in. It was a little bit of a struggle to get in there with my modified dash, but now my dash doesn't move around or center console, I mean to say. Now it doesn't move around as much. It fits in there pretty well. Pretty happy with that. Pretty freaking happy with that. Very nice. Now we just need a radio to fill that hole. Here's a radio. Here's that one radio I was talking about, the Subaru one. But it's only going to fill one half of it. So maybe if a sponsor's out there that wants to sponsor a double den, let me know. Otherwise, I want to put a cheap radio in there and maybe 3D print a little, a little pocket to fill the void, or a little face plate to cover it up so it doesn't look ugly. But I feel like that's a pretty good, I shut the door there, that's a pretty good way to end the night, because now I can just put the key in and just start the car. Oh yeah, look at that. Starts right up. Now I have a little key fob that doesn't work. I'm not sure what to do about that. I wonder if I can get it paired to this car, but I highly doubt it. We got to figure out what that airbag light's all about, but we're in a pretty good spot. Let me go ahead and put up all my tools, and I'm gonna call it a night. And we're going to take this for a drive down to McAllister, and we're going to work on Colin's Intrepid here in a couple days. Today's Wednesday. I'm going to go down there on Friday, so it should be a pretty good test. Horn still doesn't work, unfortunately, but who needs a horn anyways? We don't have inspections in Oklahoma. Maybe we'll probably figure out what's wrong with the horn. I think it was a little crusty, so maybe the horn itself is bad. We'll have to see. Also, I drove this to the post office and back today just to test it out. I noticed that the wheel bearings are sounding a little rough, unfortunately. So we're going to have to look at the wheel bearings, at least in the rear. I think it was loudest in the rear. So we're going to look there and, maybe replace those before too long. I'm sure they're not very expensive, and it probably won't even be that hard to do. So look forward to seeing us do that as well. Next thing you'll see is me driving down to McAllister, and we'll get started on his Intrepid. And man, that thing is a doozy. So you'll get to hear all about it from Colin and me once we get down there. Hey, would one of you guys be interested in having this piece of ignition from the Subaru? I know it's nothing special, but hey, it came off this car, and it's a piece of history from this vehicle. And maybe I can get me and Randy to sign it. And then I'll send it out to you guys. But of course, that has to wait until I deliver this car back to Randy again, once it's done. So maybe I can get him to sign this thing, and I can sign it. And then, well, one of you lucky people can get a piece of AAR and TMPG history, man. It's got some weight to it, too. It'd make a good, desk weight. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I managed to lock the door with this key. So it's not the most secure vehicle. So let's see if I can unlock it. Yep, look, there you go. Check that out. It's not the easiest to lock, but you can definitely unlock it real easy. You just kind of have to wiggle it. Lockpick, there you go. Key locked, door locked. And then you just gotta unlock it. Look at that. So the key that I bought still technically works for this car. You just have to do a little bit of finagling, and you can get the door to unlock and lock. So that's perfect. I wonder if I can open up the rear hatch with this key. Let's see. This one might be a little bit more finicky, a little bit more non-forgiving. Oh, look at that. That's amazing. Took a little bit of effort. Oh, hey, it's not locked. Let's. I think I actually just didn't even do anything. Let me try locking it. There's my dog barking. All right, there you go. It's locked. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Let's see if I can get it. Shush it, doggy. Nice. Don't even need another key. Perfect. There's my little dog, Lou. Hey, quit your barking. Quit your barking. Go, go, go. Oh, hey, and my other little doggy. My other little doggy right there. Her name is Annabelle. So we got Lilu, the black one, Annabelle, the white one. Say hello, Annabelle. Say hello. Say hello, Lilu. Say hello. She's like, no, I don't know what's in your hand. She's a puppy. She's only about like a year and a half, and this one's 11, so she's got a little bit of age on her. Hey, quit eating that. Aren't they cute? I love them. All right, guys, change of plans. I'm actually gonna go down to McAllister in the Chevy Volt. We actually picked it up from the dealership just recently. Turns out the ECU went bad. What the heck, how does that even happen? Anyways, gonna take this down, and instead of taking the Subaru will have to wait. Plus I need to do an oil change on it anyways. But for now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the Volt over to LKQ. We're gonna pick up the battery box, the bottom where the battery box goes for the Civic, as well as look and see if we can find some banjo bolts or banjo, not bolts, I've got the bolts, banjo fittings for the automatic transmission. Because right now, I guess when they took the radiator out, the fittings went with it, and there's no radiator when I bought the car. So that means I'm gonna have to go and pick up, you know, some fittings off of a different car. Unfortunately, they don't have any automatic versions of that era Civic, but they have some newer era Civics that have similar fittings. So I think if I snag those, that'll work well enough, and I can adapt them to work on the older Civic. So wish me luck. Here you go, guys, what we came for. Just looks like it's 1, 2, 3 bolts attached. Oh, 4 bolts, one down there. Gonna pop this off and we'll have a battery box, which is desperately needed because it's just kind of just chilling there. The battery's like falling in, so should be perfect. Battery box acquired. Went right here. Now I should have a spot for my battery, which will be really nice. Perfect. Well, not quite the exact right thing. The banjo fitting is right. I may be able to like cut it right here, or honestly use the full length. We'll see. And go from there. I might have to get like a flare tool to flare it so that way it, you know, you can properly grip on it. But I think that'll work. I'm gonna go find another one just like this on a different car, because there is another one on here, but it goes way back to the back of the transmission, and I don't want to mess with that. How convenient, guys. I literally found a transmission that I could get the banjo bolt off literally right here on the ground in the middle of nowhere. There's not even a car. Well, it might be for this car actually. I think that's a Honda. Yep, sure is. So they might have drug it out here. And these aren't too fancy or too valuable transmissions, so I can take the banjo bolt off. Look at that. Nice. Oops. So I've got 2 of these. I think I can make do with 2 of these. I may have, like I said, I may have to get a little flare tool to make that little flare on the end. Right there. So that way a hose can fit on it, but worst case scenario, if I have to cut it short, it's not that big a deal. So that's awesome. Pretty happy with that. All right, guys, that's it for this LKQ adventure. Not really a whole lot going on. I just needed to get in and get out and get some parts for the Civic, mainly the battery box, because I have to put a battery somewhere, and also those 2 lines. So now I'm probably gonna, like I said, have to adapt those lines with the banjo bolt fits. But I'll have to cut them short, and then maybe get like a flare tool or something like that to make it where the hose doesn't slip off. Worst case scenario, I could just really clamp it, but I'd rather not. I'd rather it just work, but we'll see how that turns out. You guys will see how that turns out. But now we're gonna go down to McAllister, so here in a moment we'll be down there and we'll start working on some stuff down there. There's a few cars that he wants to work on, namely his Miata, and he got a really cheap Intrepid, which honestly we're regretting getting, mainly because it's impossible to work on, and you'll hear about that shortly. Do you think this side of the radiator should be doing that? All right, guys, since I left you guys hanging on a road trip for the Subaru, I'm gonna go ahead and take the Subaru to go get some gas for my lawnmower. I need to mow the lawn. As you can see, it's starting to get a little tall, the lawn is, especially the backyard over there. It's looking a little wild. So I need to go get some gas, and I need to change the oil on my lawnmower. So we're gonna take the Subaru, and you get to see how it drives, because I'm sure you guys are curious. I didn't include it on the last video, and I regret not including it, so it's gonna be on this one. Stay tuned. The Subaru really makes a good utility vehicle. I'm telling you what, the hood struts even work on this thing. It's amazing. So I'm gonna take this gas can with me. Just got it. I love these things. They have the vent, which is super nice. And I'm gonna get some gas, and we're gonna put it in my mower and mow the lawn. So, of course, I won't include that on the video. Before I leave, I want to show you guys these little stickers I got. Little timing belt service sticker. So I'm gonna fill this out and stick it on the Subaru, and I'll show you guys that once it's done as well. But I figured, since there was nothing indicating when it was changed last, we should do this, so that way in the future someone will be able to see when this was changed. So let's see how it does after sitting over the weekend. Since I didn't drive it, I was down in McAllister. Hey, there you go. Started up pretty good, other than the weird starter thing that it does every time, but maybe it'll fix itself in that regard. I'm not sure what to do about that. Alright, let's see how she does. Of course, it's a manual, so it's always fun to drive a manual with one hand. Alright, backing up. Oh, the check engine light's blinking. I wonder what that's all about. Okay, it stopped blinking just now. Huh. We'll have to check that out. Wasn't on there last time, so we may have to clear the codes, or at least see what that code is. Well, other than that, it's running okay. Wonder what triggered it. Runs good though. Let's turn on the, there's no AC at the moment, but let's turn on the fans. Oh yeah, much better. Starting to cool down in here already. It's a pretty warm day. Pretty warm day. Pretty good right now. Alright, I'm gonna kill the fan. It's a little loud, but yeah, as you can see, she runs and drives good. We'll check that check engine light here in a little bit. So that check engine light is the perfect excuse to use my new Topdon ArtiDiag 600s on this thing. I got it sent from Topdon. They wanted a sponsor video with a product review, and so they sent me this, and I'm going to use it to, you know, also diagnose the Honda over there and this to see, you know, maybe what's going on with it. Because like I said, that check engine light just popped up just now, so we got to figure out what that is so we can get it fixed. Let me pull out the gas I just picked up from Quick Trip. Grab that out of here. Kind of shuffled around in here a little bit, but I love this gas can. It's awesome. I highly recommend getting some of those. Alright, let's plug this thing in and see what's going on with it. So first things first is you got to plug it in to the OBD2 port, and we're going to go ahead and power it on. Power on the ignition. Gotta get the keys out of my pocket first. And we're going to see what it says that check engine light is all about. Okay, ignition on. It's loading up still. I think it may have powered off just from sitting a while, or may have died. Oh, here you go. Oh yeah, it totally died. I didn't shut it off. I should have. Alright, okay. Let's go to diagnosis. Luckily enough, the actual OBD2 port actually charges this thing, which is kind of sweet. So we're going to go to Subaru. It's going to connect. Tells you the battery voltage right there, which is kind of neat. I do like that. Alright, we're going to do the area select. We're into North America. There's a 9-pin connector, but that's for the airbag sensor. So I need to get an adapter for the OBD2 port to 9-pin, so that way I can check and see what that airbag light is. I'll have to order me one of those, but that's not too big a deal. Those are pretty cheap. Going on Preza. We gotta go down through the years. Other years. Health report. Let's do that. It's gonna scan real quick. So one thing to note is if you don't shut it off after using it, it'll just run the battery dead. So you got to make sure you power it off. I was thinking it might go to like sleep mode, like a normal Android style tablet, because this is based on Android, I can tell. Because even if you swipe down from the top, it comes down with like a little Android style menu here, which is kind of neat. It has these buttons here as well, but you can do everything via the touchscreen. So I guess the benefit of the buttons would be if you were wearing like really thick gloves or something, and you couldn't touch the touchscreen. So that's a thought as well. So it's nice for them to include the buttons. On the side here, you've got your USB-C charge port if you want to charge it via USB-C, and then you got an SD card, so if you want to take screenshots of the screens. Oh, here you go. We got some little codes popping up. We'll see what that's all about. It's thinking. We got a little bit of a glare on the screen here. Let me try to, yeah, there you go. Much better. One good thing about this screen is it's pretty bright. Like at night, this thing is blinding. It's crazy. Okay, here we go. It doesn't have all those other modules, so it's just going to do the ECU or ECM. So let me go ahead and connect and see what it says. Okay. Tells you what engine type you have. Read fault codes. Temporary. It says no diagnostic code. Okay. Oh, here's a diagnostic report. That's kind of neat. So you could save it as a PDF on your SD card, so you have a little report to print out or save or whatever you want to do. That's kind of cool. Let's go to memorize, since here you go. Cylinder 3 misfire detected. Oh, okay. Preparatory codes. So I guess it thinks that one of the cylinders was misfiring, but it definitely wasn't misfiring when I was driving, so it might have been just when I started it up after sitting for a while. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to clear the codes real quick, because it was sitting for a minute, I mean, over the weekend. So we're going to clear the fault. Let's go ahead and start up the car again just to see if the check engine light stays on now that we've cleared the fault codes. Well, it seems like it is. Alright, let's just check it now. Oh, hell, you can click it down. Oh, that's fancy. So cylinder 3 misfire detected. Oh, I need to connect to my Wi-Fi here. Yeah, one thing it does is it turns off Wi-Fi, even though it should just leave it on, but whatever. So if you have Wi-Fi connected, you can actually tap on one of these, and it'll actually take you to Google and tell you about, you know, what that code means, which is kind of neat. So I guess I didn't clear it. Let's click here. Let's do this one instead. Yes. Oh, I think I have to kill the car real quick. One sec. It's not going to let me clear it while the engine's running. Yes, clear the faults. So it seems a little... I thought I cleared the faults, but apparently not. So let's go to health report again. Well, let's do system scan, actually. So it's not the perfect thing. I want to clear these codes. Let me clear the codes, please. Thank you. Let's go to system scan this time. Why not? Or system selection. Oh, it's being a little finicky right now. Okay, let's go here. Oh, I need to turn on the key. Well, that's why it's being finicky. System scan. Actually, I lied. Let's go to... Oh, it's thinking now. Okay. Yes. Let's do system selected here. Let's just do ECM, because honestly, that's the only thing that there is. Oh, it says communication failure. Okay, let's just back out, because I tried to connect to it whenever the engine was running. Let's unplug the OBD2. Let's plug it back in. Why not? I'm still learning these things here. Okay, now we're gonna go to Subaru again. It's gonna reconnect this time, I think. That's the thought, at least. Here we go. Now it seems like it's working. North America. So, you know, there's a little bit of hiccups, and some of the wording is a little weird on it, but honestly, it can connect to a lot of systems, which is really convenient. Like some of the cheaper ones, you can't connect to a lot of modules. You can only check the regular fault code. You can't connect to like the transmission or the airbag system or anything like that. So this is useful, even if it's not perfect. I'm gonna press other years. We're gonna do system selection. We're gonna go to ECM. We'll let it communicate. This will just go a little faster since we know exactly what we want to get into. Yep. Read fault codes. Oh, doggy showing up. Say hi. She's licking me. This is none. Okay. Let's go back. It's a temporary. Does it say none on there too? Okay, let's try unplugging it now that I've cleared it. And let's try turning it on now. See what happens. My lady's showing up here too. Hey, there we go. Now it's gone. And it doesn't have any kind of, it's not popping up, so I think we're good. Alright, well, I think we've cleared it for now. Let's see how that, I'll drive it again later and I'll let you know if the thing pops up again. So guys, what do you think? We got the interior stuff. We got a key that starts the car, which is epic. Having a key versus using a screwdriver is amazing. I cannot tell you how happy I am that that's done. And of course we got the center console looking a little bit better. Well, not the center console, but the console. I guess it's center console where the radio goes, looking a little bit better, so that's really nice. And we use the little diagnosis tool that I got from Topdon, which is awesome, the ArtiDiag 600s. I will include that in a link in the description below, so definitely check that out if that's something you're interested in. I think it works pretty well. You know, it's not perfect, but for what it is, it's actually really nice, and they do updates regularly, so if anything, it'll get better over time, which I love that. You know, it's super cool. So and I plan on using it on all of my newer modern cars, especially ones I'm going to do flips on, because it'll be nice to be able to read the computer codes and see what's going on with the computer, show you the transmission, the airbag. There's a whole bunch of modules, body control modules. You can read them all via that tool, so definitely check it out if that's something you're interested in. Also, there's going to be a promo code in the description for the Topdon, so definitely check that promo code out as well when you check out on Amazon. I want to thank my members for supporting me, and thank all my subscribers as well for watching the videos and clicking the like button and commenting below. Definitely let me know if you're interested in getting that little piece, the ignition piece, as a giveaway if I get Randy and I to sign it. So I'll see you guys next time on Too Many Projects Garage.